Hello YouTube, this is Necrostevo and you're watching one of my narrated Wi-Fi battles. If you'll notice, the screen is a little bit different. I now have a video overlay. Shoutouts to @GamesAreForGirls or SmartGirl. You guys can find her Twitter down at the bottom of the overlay. Be sure to go check her out on Twitter. She's pretty active there and has a lot of cool stuff. And she's my girlfriend, so obviously I wouldn't date anyone who's not awesome. Today's battle is a roulette match that I had with DittoMyWiz. Be sure to go check out his channel, which I'll leave that in the description as well. I don't actually often get a chance to do roulette matches. If you're not aware of what that is, it's just where you count up all the Pokemon you have, and then each you and your opponent give each other numbers, and you pick the Pokemon that corresponds to that number. I have about 500 Pokemon or so trained, and he actually just gave me the numbers from a fortune cookie he had. And so I get to start off with my Specs Wailord. And that turns out to be a good starting point because he starts off with Donphan, and I get to go for the Water Spout. And I hit Umbreon, but that doesn't. It's not even a. That's a 3-hit KO, full HP, Specs Water Spout, modest, max special attack. I really don't understand how Umbreon took that so well. Granted, Jellicent does not have that great a special attack, but it is passable. So I really thought that would be an easy 2-hit KO on anything on his team. I bring in Kanji just to do cross chop to get him out of there in case he wants to stay in and wish up, which he does try to do. I figured even if he used foul play on me, it wouldn't take me out just because I have mixed attacking stats. But he brings in Donphan, and now it's basically like we're back at square one, which is not too bad. I'll definitely take that. I go back out into Jellicent. I think he predicts this, and he actually goes into his Mew, which I was just going to stay in and hit him with the Shadow Ball. He uses Will-O-Wisp. Now, as long as I stay above about 75% HP, it'll be stronger to use Water Spout, but as soon as I dip below that, I have to switch to Hydro Pump. And even a Specs Shadow Ball does not kill Mew, so that is unfortunate as well. I'm thinking he just happened to have some specially defensive builds that he was running on his team there. And he's going to take that opportunity to switch there, and I expected him to switch because I was obviously locked into Shadow Ball, and so I switched back on into Kanji, but I didn't expect him to switch into Miltank, because Miltank obviously being able to take things easily on the defensive side, Cross Chop would not do very much damage to it, and he also surprises me by having Earthquake, which tells me, alongside the Life Orb, that he's an offensive Miltank, and that sucks because he does enough damage to 2-hit KO my Jellicent, and even if that was some weird min-max damage on the Earthquake, he has Punishment, which is a dark move, which will do a little bit more than Earthquake, being non-stabbed. That's okay though, it gives me a chance to go out into Ursaring. This is from my Persona 4 team, so you guys know Teddy. He is a quick feat set. And I saw that my opponent had a Medicham in the team preview, and so I really wanted to get it activated now in case he wasn't running Scarf. Unfortunately for me, he's running Reflect on Swoobat, which I haven't really faced Swoobat before. I have one trained, but mine's a weird set, so I wasn't expecting Reflect at all. Facade is still a 2-hit KO though, so that's great. Unfortunately, knowing that he outspeeds me, I don't really want to stay in and take a Psychic or a Psyshock, but he predicts that switch out nicely and goes for U-turn, and gets a crit, and we're going to see that U-turns with crits are going to be a running theme for this Swoobat. I don't think too many of them matter. For example, right here, he has a Scarf, so that means he will outspeed me. Otherwise, I would have outsped him and hit him with Thunderbolt. If he didn't have a Scarf, then that crit would not have mattered either way. So, I don't know. I do go out into Popokari Mu from Resident Evil 5. This is my Golbat from Resident Evil 5. You guys have fought that Bat Boss. And this is actually my Zoroark. It's a good... For this roulette team, it's a good match because one's weak against Psychic, one's weak against Fighting. They pair together well defensively. And I have Dark Pulse, which I use Dark Pulse over Night Days just because there's a lot more Pokemon that can learn Dark Pulse because only Zoroark can learn Night Days. So if you switch them up, people often don't necessarily know that you're using Zoroark. So right here, I actually thought that the jig was up and he knew that I was using Zoroark because I use Grass Knot and Golbat cannot learn Grass Knot. But he actually was thinking that I actually had my Golbat in, so I ended up switching my Golbat into a Psycho Cut, which really sucked. If I had just stayed in and killed him with the Dark Pulse, that would have been fantastic. But unfortunately, I guess I overpredicted, but I couldn't have known that he really thought that that was the actual thing. And so you see the sparkle that Zoroark has there, and the fact that it doesn't have a nickname that's actually in Zoroark. If you're in your game, you can find the Zoroark that the N had in your previous version if you do the memory link thing. He gets another crit U-turn, which is like, stop critical hitting me with those U-turns. Once again, though, it's not going to end up mattering too much, I don't think, just because I don't have anything that can touch Umbreon anyway. He can just foul play to kill me, or Toxic, or anything like that. I basically, though, was trying to stall out until the Reflect wore off, which would give me a chance to counterattack with some of my other Pokemon. He switches in a Mew as Death Fodder, which is fine. Based on the damage my Jellicent did, I don't think I would have been able to KO it. I would have been able to KO the Umbreon with Focus Blast either. And the Mew still barely lives. So not having up Stealth Rocks, or having a Pokemon on my team that learns Stealth Rocks, rather, is really kicking my butt. Expecting Sucker Punch or something like that, I go into Rapidash. He actually goes for Will-O-Wisp again, which works out. I really wasn't predicting that, but it worked out. So that's the most important thing. Now I get the Flare Blitz and at least KO the Mew. I really wish I ran Scarf on this Rapidash, because then I will be faster than his Medicham. But alas, I do not, and he just gets to go out into Swoobat, set back up the Reflect as I take him out with a Charcoal, Stab, Flash Fire boosted Flame Charge, or Flare Blitz rather. Flame Charge would not do diddly squat. Although if I had Flame Charge in this case, it would have put me faster than the Medicham once again. But either that's neither here nor there. But he gets to go back out into his Medicham, and he's going to finish me off with a high jump kick. Once again confirming that he's Scarfed. It's just like, I just want to kill this thing. I have nothing for this thing. I didn't get a roulette number on anything that carries Scarf, so I just don't have anything fast enough for it. Knowing that a high jump kick will not be able to kill Golbat from that range, I just go out into it, and I roost up expecting him to switch. Now, I didn't know what move his Miltank had to hit me, but Miltank's offensive, physically offensive stat is okay. I think it's 90, it may be 80, it's somewhere in there. It's not bad. And the stab Double Edge does a little, maybe like 40%. So since I'm healing 50% with Roost, I figured I could cut his HP down with Super Fang and then Toxic Stall him. I missed the first Super Fang, which means I miss out on a turn of Toxic. Well, 2 turns of Toxic, actually, because now I have to Roost up. And that means he's going to get a chance to hit me 2 more additional times, which is completely unnecessary. If I had just hit the first Super Fang, I would have cut his longevity down by a lot and increased the amount of HP that my Golbat would have had at the end of the day, because then I would have been able to Toxic him on this Milk Drink, on the last turn, rather than having to Roost up. But, you know, that's, again, neither here nor there. It doesn't end up mattering too much just because of the damage he's doing. As long as he doesn't get a crit, I'm kind of okay. And by kind of okay, I mean I'm doing at least better than you would do against Whitney. But unfortunately, he does get that crit, and so me missing out on those 2 turns of Toxic is going to matter. And that means I have to rely on my Zoroark with barely any HP, my Ursaring, who still is at pretty high HP but uses physical attacks, and he still has the Reflect up, and that's just not a good look. So his Reflect goes down, which means, okay, good, that means Ursaring can actually do something now. Unfortunately, I cannot outspeed his Medicham because of Scarf, so he gets to high jump kick my Zoroark in the face, and that leaves me with Ursaring. Now, I do have Protect, which he actually forgot about, so I basically just need 2 Protects in order to take out his Medicham, and then I will still be able to win the game because I can take out his Swoobat with Crunch. So I Protect on the first turn, that's a guaranteed one, no problem. He crashes into the floor, just like Scraggy does in the anime, and he hits his knee and he starts crying. Now the question is, can I get the 50-50 on the second one? And the answer to that question is no, and that's probably because I've had weird luck with that move before, but that was a 50-50. During the VGC, I literally had one of my opponents use Protect on me 4 times in a row and stall me out from hail damage. So I've also had Protect used on me 5 times in a row and been stalled out while my Electivire was Toxic against a Blastoise. So it's really luck of the draw right there. For those of you who don't know, Protect gets less and less likely every time you use it. The chance of it working gets cut in half, so 50%, 25%, 12.5%, and so on. But I hope you all enjoyed that battle. I hope you guys liked the overlay. And if you guys have any comments on the overlay, please leave them down in the leave your comments in the comments. I guess that's redundant. Leave any words of wisdom that you guys have about the overlay in the comments. I'm interested to know what you guys think. The quality of the video and the Pokefacts, were they readable? Did you like the font? Was the font too big? Do you like italics? Do you like it to be center aligned, left justified? Just let me know what you guys have going on down there in the comments, and enjoy these pictures at the end. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I will probably have one other battle up just because I have a bunch of winter-friendly battles to get through, and by a bunch I mean 3. And then I ended up coming out about 15-12 after 25 matches in the most recent ICL. So I have a bunch of those matches to do as well. And then of course I had the matches from Arsena and Mega Keldio's team tournament. So I have a lot of those matches to do as well. So we have a lot of content to do in the future, and I am looking forward to posting it for you guys. So you guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to you all later. Alright, bye now.